In this part, we are going to start from where we have left off in the previous video, and we have appended a cylinder for the hands in the previous video. So now we are going to smooth it out and make it a taper kind of shape in this part. And I will tell you the overall things which you will learn in this video, which are you will learn how to see how to use basic deformers, and in my later videos I will go into details about the deformers, but in this case the tools and the deformers which I will be telling you about that thing. Then after that I will tell you about how to use insert multi-mesh brushes, because they are also called as IIM brushes, and those are very helpful in certain situations. So here you can see I have appended a sphere and I have scaling it, and you will if you have to flatten out the base surface of the sphere, means you have to create a foot, then you can click on the settings option on your cursor and you can choose flatten, and you can see by clicking and dragging the pointers you are able to flatten out the surface very easily. And now I have to scale, so I have chosen the scale deformer. Then I am using those same pointers to just adjust accordingly. And if you think after this it will just be applied onto your polymesh, then it will not get applied properly. So for that you have to go to the gizmo mode again and go to the setting option, then you have to click accept button, then this will be applied to your polymesh. Now you can sculpt or do anything with this mesh, and in this case I am going to merge this with the upper body, means the topmost subtool you can see in the subtool list. Here you can see if you have to create these kind of shapes, and you can explore the deformers by yourself. They are just very easy to understand if you start exploring by yourself. Like I have told you in this case how I have used it, and you all know that how to mirror the object by going on to the Z plugin, then subtool master, then mirror. Then I have merged this foot with the whole body, and in this case in this current situation you can see that I have two subtools. One is the glass part which I have extracted and splitted by using polygroups, and the other one is the whole merged body part. And you can see I have smoothed it again, and now it's looking pretty good. So I hope you have understand the use of deformers a little bit. Actually this is just the basic very slight introduction of the deformers, how you can just quickly use it, and it was going to be used in this video and these steps. So I thought let's start and tell you about this thing, because if you are learning something you just need to learn some things gradually. You can't learn everything at one time. Like if I would have told you about this in my first video, then I think that would have made you more uncomfortable to understand that why ZBrush is so tough. So as you can see, I am using smooth brush and move brush to shape the bumps of the character, and similarly from the front I am using the same brushes. You don't have to learn a lot of brushes, learn how to use a lot of brushes and all. Some basic brushes will always help you. Here you can see I have selected the IIM tool brushes. I am using this thing in my channel for the first time, but you can see these brushes are called insert multi-mesh brushes. You can also create this kind of brushes by yourself, but Zbrush has provided these brushes to us, so we are using it. And you can see that like I have selected the arms mesh from the above, and I have gone and drag out the mesh onto my mesh. Then I'm just placing it using Gizmo, and the mask will be created automatically when you drag out the mesh from the IIM brushes. So you can see I am just placing it accordingly, so I don't have to go and sculpt the whole hand by myself. I can just fast forward this part. I can just fast forward this step, that I don't have to model the hand properly for getting this kind of work. I think you understand what steps I did back there. By holding Ctrl, I just drag out on the empty area of the canvas for removing the mask. Then after that, I again drag out on the empty area of the canvas. Then it applies the Dynamesh. So if the Dynamesh is applied, then the mesh which I have inserted from IIM brushes, it got Dynameshed by the whole body. That was simple. I have already told you in my other videos, but yes, you have to keep practicing and keep remembering those steps, so that will make you comfortable to at least see this thing, that they are simple steps. If you keep practicing small things, then that will make you very comfortable to at least understand and at least see that this is not hard. This is just simple blob of clay, and you are just sculpting with some very simple tools. So after dynameshing, I am just smoothing and I am doing some changing for the overall shapes, because we are at a decent resolution count in Dynamesh. So right now we can change the major forms. If we will increase that resolution count, then we will try to change the major forms, then that will create some problems, that will create some dents on your model. But for now we can use it, and we can change the forms however we want. So I'm just using move brush, trim dynamic brush. If I will require to use the damp standard brush, then I will use damp standard brush. These are the main brushes. A lot of artists usually use some basic brushes, and they just sculpt. They just make their process easy for them to focus on the sculpt, not on the tools. You should also do that, because if you will be focusing on the tools every time, then you won't be able to understand the thing, that you should be focusing on the thing which you are going to make and how that thing can be made in any software. I think for me, I use this kind of approach so I don't feel pressure about learning new software, but I just feel that how I can use that software to do a particular job. That's it. I don't have to learn everything in the software. It will happen gradually. When you start working on that software, you will just get hang of things and you will be able to learn all the things. And here you can see that I have increased the resolution. It is now 176, and I'm just smoothing out the forms of the fingers by using clay builder brush. And for this you can use your own hand as a reference. You can watch that your fingers are somewhat tapered from the front, means from the tip of the nail. They are cylindrical, but they are a tapered kind of cylinder from the front. So they are like what you call, they are like basically cylinders, a pencil which is sharpened from the front. So I'm just going to, I think this part is you are clear with this part, so I'm just going to fast forward this part, but I will tell you what I am going to do in this fast forward section, which is that I'm going to use I'm going to use clay builder brush, and I'm going to use smooth brush, and I will keep on changing the forms and shaping the forms. And if I will require to use move brush, then I will use move brush, but I will be using the same normal kind of brushes, and I will be just changing the forms of the fingers by rotating them a lot, because by looking at them from every angle, that thing will make you correct the forms of the model very easily. So I will be fast forwarding this part, so let's meet after this fast forward part. I hope you have got what I have done in the fast forward part. Basically, I have just used clay builder brush for shaping the forms, and then smooth brush for smoothing out that forms, and just rotated a lot for viewing that hand from every angle. So I think this is enough for the second part of the video. Let's move on to the next part.